Good morning, everyone. Did you hear me clear my throat? Sorry about that. I've got a little bit of sinus going on today. My sinus pill hasn't quite kicked in yet. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Coffee and Crochet with Sara, our live video yarn and crochet podcast, and lots of other things too. We try to do this every Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. Central Time, because I'm in Oklahoma. We've been here almost, let's see, it's just a little over 2 years now. It's hard to believe that we've moved back and that we've been here for this long now. It's so wonderful to be living near my grandkids, I have to say. You know, a preacher that I grew up with once told me that kids are great, but grandkids are the best. I like them all. My kids are the best too. Well, we've had a very exciting weekend. Before we get started with all of that, we need to clink in. And I'm clinking in today with pink grapefruit sparkling frost drink. This is one of those drinks from Aldi that I told you about. 55 cents. This one is very refreshing. When I'm having sinus, I like to drink it because it's got a little bit of a kick in it. I did pick up some coffee at Aldi the other day when I was there. I'm not a big fan of the big pumpkin spice that always happens, you know, in the fall. A lot of people just love it. Both my daughters, my granddaughter, both my daughter and my daughter-in-law, yeah, they're my daughters, they both love pumpkin spice coffee. And I've never been a big fan of it, but I bought a thing of it from Aldi because everyone was talking about how wonderful it is. So I'm going to try it out and I'll let you know, okay? Well, I hope you're all doing well today. The excitement is our little Maximo. He woke up the other morning, and when he went potty, there was blood. And so I was a little bit concerned. And so I called my husband, and we took Maximo to the doggy doctor. We have an amazing vet down here, by the way. And it's just like two miles from our house. I think it's called Feel Better or something like that. They are so kind and nice and treat you like you know what you're talking about. I mean, they are just really nice people there. And so we brought him in, and he was shaking. You know, he's a Chihuahua. And he's blind. He's deaf, you know. And they were so careful with him. And they kept him for a couple of hours. And so we sat around and worried, you know, and everything. But we went and picked him up. He does have a kidney infection and a couple of other issues. And so he's on some medication, but he's doing better now. Well, he's sleeping. You know, they give him the whatever the dog antibiotic is and painkiller is. It just knocks that little guy out. So he's sleeping. You might hear him snore because when he goes into a deep sleep, he snores like a grumpy old man. I mean, let's face it. He's 16 and a half. He is a grumpy old man when it comes to dogs. So anyway, I thought I'd let you know about that little family emergency. So anyway, we did that. I did want to tell you something really quick. Now, remember last week I told you about the purple shawl that I was making for my friend Cheryl. She's a sweetheart, and her husband is just a really neat guy. And so I got it done. Not only did I get it done, I took a bunch of pictures because it turned out so beautiful. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures real quick off my iPad, but I'm going to do a video for it so that you all can make one too, because it turned out just gorgeous. And I wanted to show you that real quick before I forgot, okay? Let me get into my iPad here. It's a ombre purple, and I used two different yarns, and I'll explain that to you in just a second. Let me switch over here because I just really want y'all to see this. This is the shawl. And I set it up there so you could see that pattern there. It almost looks like a tulip. And they're scattered throughout. Let me get another picture out here so you can see the ombre on the back. Isn't that gorgeous? And when I give a shawl like this, I love to do the rectangle shawl. The reason that I do that, especially with someone who isn't feeling very good and is going through a health issue, when I give someone a shawl that is a long rectangle, yes, they can wrap it all the way around themselves, but it also is nice because you can lay it out flat and use it as a lapgan as well. And so that's why I like to give those kinds of shawls. It turned out just beautiful, and I had a couple of skeins of the Red Heart purple, because her husband said she loved deep purple. And I didn't feel like it was dark enough. So when it got into some of the darker shades, I added some rows of a plum, and I believe that's loops and threads. But I'm going to make a video of it so that you all can make it, because it is absolutely easy and beautiful and elegant. It's one of those ones that just surprised me, you know. So anyway, I wanted to show you that. And then I want to give you a shout out for a YouTube channel that's only about a year old. My contact from Premier Yarns asked me, are you still doing shout outs? I said, absolutely. I just took a couple week break to get my brain wrapped around some things. And so, yes, I have brain issues sometimes. It's just like too much information. Okay, so she told me about this particular lady. Her name is Creatively Karen. And I went to her channel, and she is just delightful. I really enjoyed her videos. I didn't see any tutorials. She just does like yarn videos and just chats. She's like sitting down with a friend and chatting. I really enjoyed her videos. She loves yarn. She loves crochet and some other things as well. Okay, so her name is Creatively Karen. That's her YouTube channel, and her name is Karen. Please, I put her link down underneath this video, so when we're done, go over and show her some crochet love. I always tell people, like, share, and subscribe, but also comment. Because just commenting and telling people with it, especially her YouTube channel, I think is just a little over a year old, and letting people know that you appreciate what they do and that you just really enjoyed it really will give them a boost, you know, emotionally as well. So like, share, subscribe, and comment for Creatively Karen. She's just a sweetheart. I really enjoyed her. All right, so that was our shout out. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention real quick before we get any farther is how much I appreciated you all just jumping right in there and buying some of those pens that I showed you last week from SamJotPens. My son-in-law came over last night, and he told me about something that SamJotPens, the father Buddy, is working on. But I'm not going to tell you about it yet. I know we're going to love it. It's something us crocheters love. But I'm going to tell you about it next week. He showed me the demo of it, and I just love it. Okay, so I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but it's going to be next week when I tell you about it. But I wanted to just re-explain a little bit, because I know I was quite emotional last week. It just broke my heart. And so I'm more calm this week. I can't guarantee I'm not going to bawl again, though. You know. So, but anyway, I just really appreciated, because this is September Suicide Awareness or Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. And it's really important. And I went ahead and I put all the links again underneath this video. So if you didn't get a chance to go buy a pen from his Etsy channel, or you just want to know about it, and let me tell you something. If you can't afford to buy it, his pens are real reasonably priced, by the way. They're all handmade. He buys kits, and he makes the colors and stuff. I'll explain that to you when I show you the pens again. But anyway, if you know, I understand, and people understand, things are tight right now. We don't have a lot of money. So even if you cannot buy a pen right now, go to the Facebook page that I have in the link and share it, because there might be those who can't afford it. Because Buddy, his thought is he wants everybody to be able to have one of these pens so that the legacy of his precious son lives on forever. Okay, and so I get it. I mean, everything is more expensive. And so if you can't afford one, share it. Share his Etsy page. share his links for the Facebook page for the scholarship fund and for the Facebook page. That also means a lot. Okay, I want to show you the pins. My granddaughter came over with her dad last night, and she brought me another one to show you guys. Okay, so I'm going to show them to you again. Okay, now this is the one that I showed you last week, and I don't know if you can see all those beautiful colors. Jot's favorite color was purple, and so he does a lot of purple. Isn't that pretty? By the way, I've been writing with this all week, and I don't know if I'm going to let my granddaughter have it back. It writes beautifully. Now, she brought this one over. This one is that rose gold. Isn't that pretty? And see the colors in there, the blue and the purple? I didn't write with this one yet because that's her favorite, and I didn't want to use up all her ink. But I've been writing like crazy with this one. And those are just two of the pens that are there. And I don't mean, to push this so hard, but it's for a really good cause, because all the money that he makes off of the pens, except for what it makes, it costs to make for the supplies, it all goes into that scholarship. And you can read all about that. Like I said, I put the links under this video again. Click those links. Go read about it. Even if you're not going to buy, if you can't afford it on Etsy, go to his Etsy page and just read the top of that. And it will explain exactly what he's doing. And it's an excellent cause that he's setting up the scholarship fund in his son's name. And I just think that's amazing. Okay. So be looking for a surprise similar to these, but not pens. Next week, okay? I'm going to set those aside because I do have some things I'll show you over there later. All right. And I do really, really appreciate those of you who could afford. It just means the world to me. My son-in-law messaged me at 11:30 last week after our show. I don't know if this is a show, after our video, and they were already getting pen sales. And so it just did my heart so much good, because it's such a great cause. All right. And I don't, you know me, unless I know all about it, I'm not going to give it, tell you about it. All right. And know that it's on the level. Okay. They do have reusable ink cartridges, and he sells them as well. He sells them in his Etsy shop, the ones that fit the pins as well. Yep, sure do. Yeah, because if you couldn't get an ink cartridge, because you want to use that pen, they feel amazing. Okay, so now the next thing I want to show you is a brand new yarn from Premier Yarn. And I know they've been coming out with a lot of new stuff. But those of us who love these sweet roll fruits are going to love this. They have come out with a bulky, super bulky number 6 sweet roll fruit cake yarn. And I'm going to bring that up. Let me see. I went to the wrong place. Hang on. There we go. All right. So what it is, I'm going to go back over here because this is amazing. These are Parfait chunky fruits. They come in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different colors. I'm going to show you my favorite one that I saw, and that's this purple one. Okay, this is grapes, but I want to show you what they've done. Okay, let's click the arrow. That's what it looks like, and you can do this on all the colors. Okay, this is what it looks like when it's, I think that's crocheted up. This is what it looks like when it's knit, and they do this on all the colors, and then they do this. Here is our Parfait chunky fruits, and then they show you the different Parfait yarns that coordinate, and they do that on all of them. Okay, so here is, this one's watermelon, and we'll just go through. That's how it looks. There's how it looks stitched up, and then there's the colors that it coordinates with. Isn't that amazing? Now these big, huge, they're $9.99. They're brand new, 8 colors, 100% polyester, 7 ounces on each one. Number 6, super bulky. I am so excited about this. I'm telling you. And let me show you the colors. This is watermelon. This one is the dragon fruit. I've got to have this one. I love that. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, this one's orange. This one is bananas. I always say, let's go bananas. All right. This one is kiwi. And then the grapes. Then the blueberry, which I love that one too. And of course, the one I was showing you, apple. And I just love how they've taken these and coordinated them with the Parfait regular ones. Isn't that fun? Because you can make a project and use both things. I mean, wouldn't that be a beautiful blanket? Soft and squishy. I love soft and squishy things. Now, they don't have all the same fruits because, like, this one is one of my favorites here. And this is, I think it's kiwi. Let me look. Not kiwi. It's guava. And this is one of my favorite ones. They didn't do one in this. But I don't recall there being an apple. Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't recall there being an apple, and I really like that one too. And the dragon fruit one I really love. So anyway, go check those out. I've put the premiere link. It's underneath all my live videos. Go check it out. Take a look for yourself. And pull those pictures up close and look at them. They're just beautiful. And I easily go for the super chunky yarns. I just love them. And I like all yarns. You know, I do. There isn't a yarn I've met that I haven't liked. Even the hard to use yarns, the fluffy ones with all the, like homespuns and stuff like that. I love all those yarns. I even still like fun fur. I would use it if I thought people would work with it. I do. I love all yarns, crazy yarns, fun yarns, busy yarns. A lot of people don't care for variegateds. I do. I love striping yarns. And of course, ombres are one of my favorites. So, yeah. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you because that is new. So I'm going to move this off of here because I have a project going with that. And now we're going to, I told you this was a busy video today. We got a lot going on. All right. So the next thing I've got 2 full pages of notes, by the way. Page 2. What happened this week at Posh Pooch Design? So I'm going to take you back over here to the other camera. All right, so let me move these real quick. We made the tea towel with the fun leaf fillet in it. Then we made a hot pad that is shaped like a fall leaf with those beautiful colors. And then we decided we needed to make a coaster to go with that. And this one I did in a solid orange. I love this orange. It's like a country orange. It's not pumpkin orange and it's not dark orange. And it is one that I just had in my stash. I don't know the name of it. From the feel of it, it feels more like an I Love This Cotton, but I'm not sure. And then this is an I Love This Cotton, and I've made several other things with that. And then, of course, this is the same yarn of the other 2. And I wanted to show you. I bought 3 skeins of this yarn. I think it's called Harvest Hues. And I made two of these hot pads, a towel, and 2 coasters, and I have this much left from 3 skeins. Just so you can kind of get an idea, what you can do. So it goes a long way. And you can make, I made 1 of these, 2 of these, and 3 of these. So, I did that with the I Love This Cotton. And it was kind of weird how I found this yarn because I was just walking. I went to Hobby Lobby for safety eyes, okay? I needed some safety eyes. And they have a really good assortment of safety eyes. And so I thought, well, I'll just swing by. The way my Walmart, or Hobby Lobby, did I say Walmart? It's Hobby Lobby. The way my Hobby Lobby is set up, you walk in and there's registers on both sides. And then you swing over this way and you walk past the fabric and the yarn. And then you swing across the back for all the puzzles because I love their puzzles. My daughter just bought me a new one actually from there. I think it's called Cob Hill. It's just like my favorite, or Cobble Hill. That is one of my favorite yarns. Anyway, favorite puzzles. And then I walked across over to the back wall for the safety eye. So I have to go through the yarn, right? Because I'm doing this big loop. And I'm trying to get my steps in. So, okay. So anyhow, I just walked past there and I thought, oh, that's a neat yarn. The sad thing is my Hobby Lobby has really, really cut down their yarn aisles. And it makes me really sad because I love their yarns. And I also love that they carried other brands, and they just don't have very many other brands anymore. And I really wish they would. And the only other place that's within a couple of miles of my house is Walmart. And Walmart, they shrunk their yarn down to like 2 8-foot sections, or 2 4-foot sections, into about 8 feet. And it's just so sad, as I used to buy tons of yarn from Walmart because, if you need a yellow or a bright green or something, you could run to Walmart and get, Red Heart Super Saver. But I don't even think they have that anymore. They have some occasionally, like on an end cap, but it's really, really sad. Walmart needs to get their act together and put yarn back out. And so does Hobby Lobby. It must be there's not a lot of money in it. So that's why occasionally we take a trip to Michael's or take a trip to Joann's, which are across the other side of Oklahoma City. So it's about a 45 minutes of a drive over. So now there is a Hobby Lobby. I'm not a Hobby Lobby. There is a Walmart that's on the other side. That's by over where Joann's and Michael's is. There's a big Walmart over there, and they have a pretty good sized yarn setup. But the thing is, if I can just go to Michael's and Joann's, I'm not going to go to Walmart for yarn. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm not meaning to be negative. I'm just being honest, okay? Because I don't like that. We are a no llama, drama, hama channel. We don't like drama. Okay, so that's what we did. And then I'm going to move this so we can see what we did yesterday. Now, yesterday was Square of the Month. And if you don't know what we're doing a square for each month that is inspired by the month's birthstone. So here's January, February. Guess I should put those where you can see them. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and August. Okay, and then September, and September's birthstone is Sapphire. Okay, and what I did at the end of this video, because I've been getting a lot of questions about sometimes my yarn, or my yarn, sometimes my square turns out a little smaller and sometimes a little bigger. And so at the end of the video, I talked a little bit about what you can do if that happens, because sometimes we stitch tighter than others. It's just life, and what to do. And also just a quick thing on why I block and how I do it with these squares. And the thing is, you don't have to block. I just do it because it just makes it easier when it comes time to put those two squares together if they meet up better. Okay, and then the other thing is, you're going to make 2 squares of each of the 12, so you'll have 24 squares. But if you want to make a bigger blanket, because we are going to put it together in a blanket this time, if you want to make a bigger blanket, make more squares, or you can make some other squares. And the other thing is, you don't have to do all the colors and styles that I did. You may not like, maybe you don't like this one, but you really like this one, and you want to make a whole bunch of this one. That's totally fine. Any of these squares are for you to make whatever you want with them. You can make pillows and bags. You can make scarves, whatever you want. They're there for you to enjoy and have fun. Okay? Don't feel like you have to make a blanket, because that's what Sarah's doing. Okay? You can do whatever that you want. Okay? Now, I have thought about it a lot, and I think I do have some extra squares that are just like random squares. So I was thinking about, doing the 12 and then maybe doing some other random ones around, because actually when it comes time to put them together, I am going to do them sort of random. I'm not going to do them in any kind of order. I'm not going to do them, January through December, January. I'm not going to do anything like that. It's just going to be a big conglomeration. Because I kind of like to do that sometimes. I know that I can be a little bit of a control freak because I am over organized and and these last few months with my health and some family deaths and some other things going on, I have learned to be more flexible. Physically as well as mentally. And so, that is a great idea, Wendy. Do them all in Christmas colors. That would be super pretty. You could do all the different ones using all different Christmas colors. Oh, that'd be so pretty. Now, one thing to remember, when it comes time to put them together, I'm going to be using, I've been investigating how I want to join them. And in the past, I've done the continuous join, and I like that, but I don't want to do that for this one. If you want to know how to do the continuous join, I do have a video, and I think I listed it under where I have the playlist for all different squares, for all the different squares. That is in there. But I don't want to do that this time. I want to use a different color or maybe colorway of yarn and join them all together so that there's like a solid definition between all of the squares. Because I like to choose one color that kind of brings them all together when I am doing kind of what I call a crazy quilt or a crazy blanket. So that's something to think about as we go along. All right, so we're going to make 2 per month, and I'm probably going to add some extra ones in mine, and I will show you how to put everything together. When we do that, after all 12 squares are done, in the month of January, can you believe January 25? How did that happen? Well, when we do that, in January, we'll put the blanket all together. Okay, in the past, I have done big tote bags. You can do that. You can do scarves. You can do whatever that you want to. There is just tons of things that you can do. You can do, table runners, pillow, anything you want. Anything you want. So, yes, Dawn, time is flying. I was talking to someone yesterday, and they were talking about graduating from high school, and I just had I think it was 40th. Well, we did it late because during COVID we couldn't have our reunion, and so we waited a few years. I think it's now been 42 years, maybe 43, I can't remember. And we were talking about how in the world has it been that many years since we graduated from high school. And then my daughter goes, Mom, I graduated in 2000. I'm like, holy moly. And then she's like, yeah, and I graduated from college almost 20 years ago. I'm like, I'm getting old. I don't really mind getting old. Beats the alternative, right? Alrighty. Well, I've kept you quite a ways now. It's almost 11 o'clock. And we had a lot to go through. I'm looking at my notes, making sure I went through everything I wanted to talk about. Don't forget to go over and check out Creatively Karen's channel. You will like her. She's so much fun. And it's just sweet. Just a sweet lady. And don't forget, even if you can't purchase a pen, go to the Etsy shop, take a look at it, read what he has to say, and if you can, share. I always say that because, we can't always afford something, but we want to help somehow. And you can help by just sharing it. Go to Facebook and share their page, to your friend, on your Facebook friends, so your friends can see it. Or you can share the Etsy page on Facebook, or if you have someplace else that you share things, click it on Pinterest or whatever, because we may not have the money to spend, but we do. But sharing costs us nothing. A couple of minutes, okay? All right, now don't forget, next week I've got a surprise to tell you about. Heidi just ordered a pen. Thank you so much, and that means a lot to me. And I know it sounds silly because I personally don't know them, but my son-in-law and daughter do, and my grandkids do, and yeah, it when things like this happen, it just goes through the whole community, and I love the Mustang community. I've said this often, where I live, they call it the trifecta, because where my house is, I live in Yukon, but the school system is Mustang, and all the, the electricity and water and all that is Oklahoma City. So it's kind of interesting where we live, and I love it. I absolutely love where we live. And so, and the Yukon community is great, the Mustang community is great, and Oklahoma City's not too bad. It's just, I'm just happy not to be in city, but it's growing out our way as well. So anyhow, thank you all so much. Thank you. It just means a lot to me to hear that. All right, I am going to let you go, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next Tuesday.